It's time! 5 rounds in the UFC heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a striker holding a professional record, 30 wins, 11 losses, 2 draws, 1 no contest. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 232 pounds. Fighting out of Zagreb, Croatia, presenting the 2006 Pride World Grand Prix champion, Mirko Cro Cop. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighter holding a professional record, 16 wins, 9 losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 255 pounds. Fighting out of Ludlow, Massachusetts, by way of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Gabriel Gonzaga. Gentlemen, center the cage. Gentlemen, you both know the rules, you both know what I expect. Protect yourselves at all times, obey my instruction at all times. If I ask for a break, I expect a good, clean break. Fight hard, fight fair, fight clean. Touch gloves, back to your corners.
Well, there wasn't a touch of gloves in their first contest. They touched them up for this one, however. So Leon Roberts is tasked with overseeing our main event. It is the main event attraction, and therefore it is 5 5-minute rounds in the heavyweight division. This is the top of the bill, the rematch, the one that we have been waiting for.
I gotta say, no one does it like Bruce Buffer for the main event. Cro Cop pushing forward a little bit here. A couple of feints. Gonzaga doing the same thing as he was doing in the first fight. Oh, it was a good straight right from Gonzaga there. Got Cro Cop's attention. Straight back to the centre of the octagon though.
Cro Cop pulled in Stipe Miocic for this fight camp. He too has a contest coming up with Mark Hunt.
Good footwork by Cro Cop there to get him to safety.
In Cro Cop's corner is Stipe Drews, former WBC heavyweight champion, and he really enjoyed honing his boxing for this camp. Getting his hands going, still said that kick is there whenever he needs it. He could wake up cold in the middle of the night and throw it out there.
Gonzaga trying to push forward again a second ago and land a couple of shots, but Cro Cop did a good job again out of the way.
Gonzaga had put the first contest very much behind him and said the gap between the two fights mean that they are completely different athletes.
Right on the edge of my seat, John. I just feel there's a kick coming any second. And that's how I feel all the way through Cro Cop's fights. No matter who he's fighting and how the fight's going, I'm always expecting that left head kick to come. I'm pretty sure his opponent's doing the same thing. Oh, a body kick there from Gonzaga.
Cro Cop was talking to me about the use of the kick. He's not one to go for the legs. Says you need at least 20. That gives 20 opportunities to check it. You could injure yourself. However, body kicks and head kicks, it could just take the one and you could earn your paycheck right there.
Watch how Gonzaga puts so much weight on that front leg. He really leans towards that front leg so he can throw his right hand with power. It's an unusual technique, but I think, to be honest, that was partly what disguised the kick in the first fight. Because his right hand came very similar in movement to the head kick. Oh, Gonzaga gets the takedown.
Straight in on the hips, drags it down to the mat.
Now, Cro Cop aware that those elbows were a factor in the last fight. He's going to be cautious of not letting them land too often in this one.
That was a long time ago. He has a fantastic setup at his home, actually, which is where he trains. Calls in, obviously, some of the best guys in the world to help him prepare for contests.
And Stipe Miocic said that people are going to be surprised because Cro Cop's good everywhere. And I believe it. I mean, he's been in there against some of the best. big boy to have on top of you, Gonzaga. It must be difficult to get him moving. Cro Cop just being defensive so far. Oh, and Gonzaga passes to Mount.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, Gabriel Gonzaga. He's a decorated, competitive Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu player as well. 9 submission victories on his record. But at the moment...
Oh, beautiful! Ankle lock attempt from Cro Cop. Oh, ankle lock attempt from Gonzaga. Cro Cop's looking to peel those legs off. That looks nasty. That's almost like a straight ankle lock, but it comes straight over the top of the big right hand.
So Cro Cop still on his back. With a minute left to count down in round number 1.
I think that'd be more of a surprise than the head kick knockout, is if Cro Cop submitted Gonzaga.
With a heel hook.
With a heel hook. With the kick that he knocked him out with.
So Gonzaga controlling the frame of Cro Cop. Looking to choose his moments to strike.
There's one elbow got through just there. Gonzaga not as busy as he was in the previous fight.
Just good elbow. Mirko Cro Cop is very good at equalising the scores.
Most definitely. That was a nice little elbow from Cro Cop from the bottom as well. Perhaps an evolution to his games. I know he's not keen on elbows. Okay, another elbow there on the finish. And we're already deeper in to the fight than the first one.
Right, let's take a look back at some of the action from that opening stanza.
So watch how Cro Cop leans over onto his front leg. He puts all of that weight onto his front leg so he can really reach. Shoots in for the takedown. Beautiful. Pulls him away from the fence and passes straight to guard and then to mount. Cro Cop going for a heel hook. Look at that. Enough to make Gonzaga move though, and then Gonzaga goes for a heel hook, which looked to be hurting Cro Cop for a second, but did a good job to defend, peel the legs off, and then Gonzaga realized that he wasn't going to be able to finish it and abandon the position. Good first round from both guys.
We want the same round.
So we're all set now to see round number 2 of this anticipated rematch.
You ready to fight? Bring it on.
A little bit of blood on the top of the head from Cro Cop for one of those elbows that on Gonzaga's heads from the elbows that Cro Cop landed from guard. It's another string to his bow that could definitely have an effect in this fight.
Stalking one another in the centre of the octagon. Big right kick from Gonzaga. Cro Cop familiar with that.
Very patient from Cro Cop, just not opening up a great deal yet. Oh!
Very much colliding in the centre of the octagon there.
Oh, there's a head kick. Gonzaga ducks underneath. Mirko scrambles back to his feet, does a good job to get to the fence. Oh, that was a low knee.
It was indeed. Straight to the sacred apparatus of Mirko Cro Cop.
Just keep him up.
Never heard it called out before. Oh dear. Oh, he seems okay.
Straight back in.
Wants to go straight in again. Well, it looks to me like Gonzaga has drilled the counters to head kicks.
Yeah,
he was straight in on that.
Which is going to make Cro Cop hesitant. I'd love to see him throw a knee from the back leg. See if that makes a difference to the attack. And we know that he's got a thunderous body kick as well. We saw that against Vanderlei Silva, and I'm blanking on the other guy's name. Magomedov, I believe it was. It was in Pride, and the bruising came up immediately.
So many to choose from, Dan. I think we'll be excused from calling them to
Oh,
memory.
beautiful uppercut and a scramble from Cro Cop. Trying to stay on his feet, good takedown from Gonzaga.
Big lift on the left leg of Cro Cop. Unsettled the balance, and a trip takes this down to the mat with Gonzaga in a dominant position. Shoulder pressure from the pal.
I have to say, you can visibly see the nerves on the faces of Cro Cop's corner team when the fight hits the ground. They clearly know where Cro Cop wins this fight, and they want the fight to be contested there.
And actually, not a lot of noise coming from them.
No. Oh, and Gonzaga takes mount again. Cro Cop doing a good job of getting back to half guard.
Looking to neutralise
Not looking to expend,
Gonzaga.
not looking to expend any energy here. Waiting for the referee to step in and intervene.
Certainly not one to be looking to work off his back. And why would you against such a
He
decorated
pushes
grappler?
and he looks for a leg lock again. Beautiful shot from the bottom from Cro Cop, and another one. Oh, and a beautiful elbow.
They're calling these elbows on.
Very nice.
On the Croatian corner.
Gonzaga looking to try and wear Cro Cop down, perhaps. Doesn't seem to be progressing a great deal in his position. Oh, and he passes against a mount.
Yeah.
And grapevines the legs. That's a difficult position for Cro Cop to get out of.
Yeah, he's going to find it very difficult to rearrange his base, and certainly won't be able to shift Gonzaga around very easily.
Now's the time to go, push on the hips and perhaps work for an ankle lock again.
Gonzaga's making himself super heavy on top here, Dan. Really trying to suffocate Cro Cop at the same time.
You just can't prepare for chest hair like that, John. This is a bad position, that's a high mount. Gonzaga can really put some leverage into these punches.
Yeah, he's reaching high. Any high, he's going to get some snow on those gloves. Going to push that onto the chin of Mirko Cro Cop.
Cro Cop not looking at any kind of escape at the moment. Gonzaga possibly looking to set up an armbar or something here. Here we go.
Goes to S mount.
Cro Cop's wise to it, pulls his elbows to the sides.
35 seconds in round number 2.
Looking to get some purchase on the fence, see if he can kick off and make some space. Gonzaga briefly look for an Americana on the right arm of Cro Cop.
Gonzaga really taking his time. It's a 5-round fight. Oh, that is a cutting elbow.
Oh, and again, that was a solid one to the chin of Cro Cop.
Really nice use of the wrist control and just turning that elbow over. Again, looking for that S-mount. Is he going to start switching his hips?
Good work from Gonzaga on the top.
And an injury to Mirko Cro Cop this time. That's going to need some attention between the rounds.
Definitely. It's got to be one of those elbows that open that up.
Right, let's take a look at some of the action there from round number 2.
The ducking under the kick was a very pivotal moment. Look at that, straight over the top of Gonzaga's head. He was already in on the leg before Cro Cop had put his other foot down. Good effort here. Stood still, trying to get that uppercut to land, but just had no success with it. Gonzaga elevated his leg and then tripped the other one from underneath him. And here we go, a high mount. Looking for an armbar at the end of that round, but landed some really good elbows here. And that was the one that opened up Mirko Cro Cop. You can see the swelling comes up immediately.
Pretty nasty cut suffered by Mirko Cro Cop.
Fortunately to the side of the eye, so it doesn't look like it's going to affect the fight at all. But certainly shows the success that Gonzaga is having on the ground.
Gonzaga leaving his mark again on the former Pride champion.
Patient from both guys again.
Yeah.
I can't help but feel that Cro Cop thinks that he may have one or two good shots before Gonzaga pushes forward. And I know from my own experience, it does make you very tentative. It makes you very selective of what you're going to throw and always thinking twice before you do it. Sometimes you just got to throw caution to the wind and just go for it. And unfortunately, in that second round, when he did and he threw the high kick, he paid for it and ended up on the floor. Here again for the takedown. Beautiful defense from Cro Cop there.
Maximum concentration needed from both of these heavyweights.
When it comes to takedown defense from Cro Cop, it's not so much about technique. If you go back into his career, maybe watch his fight against Mark Coleman in Pride, his takedown defense was impeccable. But a lot of the time when fighters start to get older and slower, it's the reaction times that suffer.
Gonzaga closes the distance. He's pressing his frame against Cro Cop with his back to the fence. Cro Cop comes back to the UFC after defeating Olympic gold medal winner Ishii.
Gonzaga pushes the takedown again. Cro Cop double underhooks, lifts him back up.
Not a lot happening here as the referee takes a closer look.
The other thing to remember is that this is a 5-round fight, so we have 2 more rounds after this one. These guys could potentially be pacing themselves.
Big swing and miss there from Gonzaga.
Good work by Cro Cop there to keep the fight on the feet. He was all over that takedown then. And another good shot on the inside. Gonzaga looks right for a second. He's wobbly on his legs. Cro Cop looking to land some shots while Gonzaga's hurt. He's coming the end of the fight. Cro Cop is pouring it up. Gonzaga rolls to his back.
Big shots now coming in from Mirko Cro Cop. Ironically, it was the elbow that set it up, the very elbows that he believes were his detriment in their first outing. And the crowd here in Poland are now on their feet. They smell something significant here in the third.
Been the best shot of the fight so far. Gonzaga looks to have his wits about him again. Looks like he's turning for an armbar, but Cro Cop pouring on the pressure again. Beautiful elbow to the head.
Huge left elbow arcing over the defences of Gabriel Gonzaga. They're not cutting, they're concussive.
Oh, and again to the jaw. Beautiful, great work by Cro Cop. Oh, there's a big coming up on Gonzaga's face. Cro Cop smells the hate. He knows it's coming. Gonzaga's struggling. He advances. It's not the way. Cro Cop settles the score in Poland.
Oh, maestro.
The legend. It's been an absolute pleasure to be octagon side for this one, as Mirko Cro Cop turns things around off the